Sony's sights are set on a substantial developer acquisition from software. And if it falls through, they can just keep going back to try again.
And the Game Award nominations are out, and we're going to give our predictions on who will be the big winners this year. All this and a whole bunch more right now on Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there. Every single Monday, we're bringing you all the biggest things happening in the video game industry. You can find us on TikTok, YouTube, podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. I'm joined every week by this man right here, the peanut butter to my jelly. Full clip. What's going on, dude? How are you?
Doing all right. This week, we're more like the turkey and stuffing. Maybe the mashed potatoes and gravy. The deviled eggs.
Gravy. Exactly. I like that.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, dude. We're getting real close. Yeah. And then Christmas is going to be here.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. It went fast. You been doing anything fun? Are you preparing? You're all just, you got to get the Thanksgiving dinner ready?
I don't think I'm going to be hosting anything this year. I'll wait and see.
Well, that's good.
Probably ought to know at this point, but yeah, no plans of that just yet. I'll be going to traveling and seeing some family.
There you go. That's the way to do it. I'm hosting a little bit here, and it's always so stressful and a pain in the ass. So, but it's a small one. It's a small one this year. I don't have my full family. I'm going to smoke a turkey, a little one, maybe like a 14-pounder. It's my favorite part, but it's always a little bit stressful. Like the entire meal is reliant on, me having this thing ready to eat at a certain point. So,
nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun though. What else you been up to? You been playing games or anything?
A little bit, yeah. I'll go back to Little Kitty Big City that I was talking about last week. We're probably like 98% on that thing. We finished the story, and there's just this big list of objectives you're supposed to do. And we're down to the last couple, which are just annoying as hell. Like, get your picture taken 20 times or something. It seems more random than not, though, so that's a little bit of a pain. And recycle 50 items. And I know you can go and you can headbutt, like, the vending machines, and it spits out sometimes up to like 5 cans at you. Yeah, but I don't know if there's a cooldown on that or exactly how that works, because I'm running out of stuff to recycle, and you need like 100 in total.
Okay. Yeah, well, that should by next time you'll definitely have that full the full 100% on that.
And then never touch it again.
Yeah, exactly. I've come this far. And then I'm sure Black Ops, you're still at that.
Oh yeah, grinding. I've got all of my diamond SMGs as of like an hour before we started recording. I had to get on there. Yeah, diamond SMGs, almost there on melees and launchers, trying to get the hardest ones out early. Then everything else I have like maybe 1 gold gun, and that's about it.
I never look at the camos, or I never even like change any of that stuff, because anytime I go in there, I click on start game or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, now I'll go look while I'm waiting. But it's so fast, you get into a game so quick. So then I'm like, so yesterday I actually took a second to like look at the camos and stuff and see how to get them. I was full. I had gold on the one gun that I mostly normally use, and then it was like you have to get a gold on all the assault rifles to unlock the diamond or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's not that hard. Let me try. So now I'm using a different assault rifle. It was, a little, you gotta, get used to the next gun, but it definitely makes it more enjoyable to go out there and have that to level up. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to get once you like the thing past diamond, it looks super cool. Whatever that one is, where it shimmers.
Yeah,
kinda.
Dark Spine, I think it's called.
Yeah, that looks cool. I don't think I'll ever get that. I don't know. Those ones looked hard. You have to get everything diamond or whatever. I'm like, dude, this looks super hard. But yeah, I've never really played the objectives before, but I've been doing the dailies because I did end up buying the battle pass which is kind of a ripoff because you don't even get the cool shit. The cool shit you have to pay for the next premium battle pass. I was like,
I don't like this.
That's stupid. Like, don't even put it on there. Like, I don't know. I thought it was more like going to be like Fortnite. You unlock this whole section or whatever, and then you get like the big, the big premium part. But you can't even. It doesn't even count towards that. So I was annoyed with that. It was only $9 for the battle pass, and I didn't pay for the game, so it's fine. I'll have some cool other shit, but yeah, I don't get to look like a melting lava man as I run around.
Yeah. All the ones on that Dark Cell side are always so much cooler. You got all the cool like glowing effects and stuff.
Yeah.
One cool thing that they did introduce is like a community event that's going on right now for like the next week or so.
Yes.
The community, if you get like 8 billion kills, no, I think 8 billion was just the start. So these are the insane numbers of Call of Duty. 8 billion kills was the first tier, and as a community, we hit it. So we're now getting like a special perk that's going to be added to the game. So there's a lot of cool stuff in there: perks, weapons, things that'll be added to the game if we hit those milestones. And you have personal milestones too. So up to 1,000 kills for the maximum.
That drill.
The power drill. Yeah, I'd like to see some executions with that. That's got to be brutal.
Yeah, I'm like halfway there. I just realized I'm at like 500 kills. So I was like, this is easy. That was 2 days. There's 11 days left as of this recording. So yeah, I'm going to get that drill. I'm going to drill somebody in the face. It's going to be great. Very cool. I've been playing one other game really on my Steam Deck. It's a game called Dimensionals, and I got to shout it out because it is so much fun, dude. So I got this. I had it for a little bit. I had gotten a review copy before it had come out in early access. It's been out for a little while. It was like a play test, and it had a limited amount of stuff on it. And I was like, "There's potential here." Now, let me go back to it once it fully comes out. Now it's fully out. Now, I mean, it's out in early access, but there's more to it, and it is so much fun. What it is, it's like a roguelike, kind of with deck builder vibes. But the draw to it is it has this like Saturday morning cartoon kind of look, and then it like plays out like a comic book. There are all these superheroes called Dimensionals, and you got to like save your friends and that sort of thing. But you go through, you get all these different skills, and then it's turn based, so it plays out a little bit like Slay the Spire in that all your skills are based on how many points you have available and that sort of thing, but they're permanent. It's not cards. And you can upgrade your skills. Each character has a skill tree. All the characters kind of like have like a synergy with one another, so you got to find like the best team. Right now in early access, there's a campaign that's like episode 1, they're calling it, or chapter 1, season 1, I think it is. And I think it's like 10 episodes. You can finish it in maybe 5 hours or whatever, but then it has like an endless mode where it's more of like a an ongoing like Slay the Spire type situation where you just keep playing until you beat the bosses or whatever. And that's where you could kind of play around and see which characters work well with the other ones, you upgrade. Nice. Dude, I'm having so much fun with that. And it was just kind of, like I said, I got it and I didn't expect much from it. It's a super polished game for coming out into early access. Like, it's voice acted. Like, all the animations are really cool. There's tons of well thought out skills. I am very, very impressed by this. Anybody, if you're a fan of deck builders or roguelikes, go check out Dimensionals. I think it's got a pretty decent starting price. I think it's $17.99 right now. I don't know if it's going to, a lot of times they'll go up in price the more content gets added. Yeah. But this one, it's going to have a ton more content added, and it's already got a bunch. They're talking about adding more and more heroes to it, more seasons. So, yeah, dude, even my son, my 6-year-old son was like looking over me because it's drawn in by the look of it. It looks like a cartoon, and he was like, "Ooh, what is this game?" And now he's playing a turn-based roguelike without me. He took it from me, and he was just like, "I was like, this is amazing. This is the greatest day of my life." So yeah, I recommend it.
Dimensionals. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it until you posted the TikTok video on it. And like you said there, like the Saturday morning cartoon vibe, it definitely draws you in. And we're seeing a few games like that recently.
Yeah.
that are almost that Cartoon Network style of animation or certain shows on there.
Yep.
And I think that's cool. I mean, we need. It was cool when they did like Cuphead and really changed up that art style.
For
So I'd like to
sure.
see more like this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another one I was playing, and I wish I could remember the name of it now. But it kind of had a similar aesthetic. It looked a lot like He-Man, but it's like a Vampire Survivor style game, that top down. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, I agree. I like the style of it. It's really cool. All right, anything else before we move things along?
Nah, I think that's it.
All right, let's talk about our new releases from this past week. All right, first up, Microsoft Flight Simulator came out November 19th on PC, Xbox X and S. This one's got, I mean, it's just the next version of Flight Simulator. I'm sure everybody's aware of what the game is. You fly planes and basically you fly everything. This one has over 65 aircraft, 150 airports. New to it, medevac, aerial firefight, search and rescue. Another cool thing that they added, you can now get out and explore. There's 27 highly detailed biomes that you could go walk around and like take pictures. You like have a camera, so you could just be like, you know, just taking pictures out there. And then it's got a new challenge mode where you could compete with other pilots online to, you know, how fast or how well you do certain tasks. So it sounds really cool if it worked. Everything I'm seeing, terrible server issues. Tons of bugs, and then like just when you think you got it going, it crashes. So right now it is like overwhelmingly negative reviews on Steam, and it's not good. People that can get in and play it, they're like, "There's a great game here," but there's a lot of issues leading up to getting in there. So hopefully they'll get those sorted out.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of diehard fans of the Microsoft Flight Simulator series, but this is one that just makes me question, like, why is it done this way? Why is it a new game rather than like an expansion pack or a DLC or something? And I guess the answer is money. But
absolutely,
you know, you'd probably have fewer bugs if you just built on the back of the completely working system that everybody seems to be happy with.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know how. I've never played it. I don't know how much they are enhancing the visuals, that sort of thing. I don't know. I think a lot of it is procedurally generated. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely. I think there's maybe this will be a learning lesson for them going forward. That one is available day one on Game Pass, as well as Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, came out November 20th on PC, Xbox X and S. This one, it's like a first-person shooter, survival, horror kind of game where, you know, you're this mercenary in Chernobyl and you run around and you gotta like kill other people and mutated creatures. This game has been in the works for like 15, 16 years. It's been constantly delayed. And it's part of, I think there's a few games in the Stalker series. I've never played any of them because it just looks really hard. And everything I'm hearing is that this one is like, it's unforgiving in how, you know, the very heavy survival things, like where you got to worry about hunger, radiation, like all your equipment has wear to it. So like those are the things that to me are not fun. I don't want to like focus on that stuff. But if you're a fan of that sort of thing, like everybody says this game is amazing. Minus some technical issues here and there. But yeah. The Stalker 2, check it out. What do you think of this?
Yeah, I'd like to try it out. That reminds me of kind of like Rust that I played a little bit of.
Mm-hmm.
And other games, you know, Fallout, things where you have to really manage the radiation survival stuff. I'm into it. You know, I like my Minecraft. I like having to eat and get to survive. I saw a review. I only saw the name. I think it was a video. I didn't get to watch it. It is Tarkov for theater kids. And I'm kind of wondering, what do they mean by that? Is it true? Because I might be into it. I don't know.
That's great. Yeah. I don't know. I would like, so I have Game Pass and I was like, oh, maybe I'll check it out. it's like it's a huge file. It's like 150 gigs or whatever.
Ugh.
And as I'm saying, I'm playing Black Ops on Game Pass, which is also like 150 gigs. So I'm like, I need I'm hoping to get one for Christmas, maybe get that external hard drive for the Xbox, so I could play 2 games at once. Because right now I just have Black Ops and then a bunch of like indie titles on there and stuff. So because that was my plan. I was like, I'm gonna check it out, and I was like, I'm not messing with it. So this is on you now. You have to check it out and let me know.
I saw that it was coming to Game Pass. I really wanted to download it and try it out. That's just that's time away from Call of Duty. I can't do that.
Right. It's addicting, dude. I was just talking to my wife about how I haven't been this addicted to a Call of Duty in a while. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. So both of these brand new games out on Game Pass day one. So real quick, along with those, I figure we'll give the remainder of the announcement for Game Pass. Little Kitty, Big City also came to Game Pass November 20th. Plate Up November 20th. And then next one coming, the big one I'm excited for, that should hopefully be a much smaller file and I could play it, 9 Souls. It's day one console. It's out on PC right now. So this is the console debut. It's going to be day one on Game Pass on November 26th. And then Aliens Dark Descent November 27th. So some more great games. But 9 Souls, I'm hearing like amazing things about it. It's a really beautiful looking platformer with Sekiro style combat. So Game Pass, dude. Oof. With all these big games, man, they're killing it. And then, Indiana Jones still next week. So some great games. Real quick though, leaving Game Pass at the end of this month, Conan Exiles, Coral Island, Hello Neighbor 2, Remnant from the Ashes, Roller Drome, Soccer Story, Spirit of the North, The Walking Dead, the final season, and While the Iron's Hot. Those are leaving the Game Pass. So get those in there while the iron's hot. Bam, crushed it. All right. We got things to talk about. You ready to do it?
Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into our news of the week. It's happening. The Game Award nominees have been announced. The actual Game Awards are a couple weeks away still, December 12th. I'm very excited for them. There's been tons of talk in the internet gaming world about the Game of the Year nominations and all the nominations. And, this is one of my favorite things to do on this show, is to make our predictions on who we think is going to be taking home the awards for this year. So, you ready to do it?
I'm ready.
All right, buckle up, everybody. We're going in. Deep dive into the Game Awards. I'm sure we'll have some sort of big bet here, whether Full Clip or myself, whoever has the most right predictions. Well, maybe next week you have to you shave your head if you lose or whatever. Yeah, or at least your back. One of us has to shave our backs. But yeah, all right. We got there's like 8,000 different categories. So let's start with, we're going to skip the esports categories. You and I know nothing about that sort of stuff. So we're going to skip those and go right into the most anticipated game for next year. The nominees are Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotei, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds. What's your pick?
Oh, definitely. What would you say? Metro something?
Metroid
6.
Prime. I knew it was GTA. Of course it's GTA. That is also my pick. How can it not be, right?
Right. It just simply is. Like, it's fact. It's not a voting matter.
Yeah. Like, even if I wasn't even excited to play it, the fact that I just want to see what it is. It's the one I'm definitely most anticipated to see what it is. I know what the other ones are going to be, but like, what is GTA 6 going to be? Like, I'm so excited for it. So yeah, I think that's an easy one. All right. Next up, best adaptation, Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, Here, we'll go back and forth, so that you don't think I'm always copying you. I think I know what you're going to pick here. And you probably know what I'm going to pick. And my answer is Arcane, the greatest show on television. Season 2 just wrapped up. I don't know how this got like picked for that, because season 1 was like, I don't know. I don't know the timing of these nominations. But yeah, if you're not watching Arcane, you're not doing living correctly. And you go watch it. What is your pick?
Yeah, so I've watched a couple episodes of Arcane. Don't really know League of Legends. What I watched was good. I just got to get back into it. But one that I watched twice all the way through this year was Fallout. And yeah, you probably already knew that.
I did. Yeah, I knew that was going to be your pick. This one could go either way. I think the timing needs to work out. But Arcane is such a beautiful show. Fallout had an amazing story. So yeah, I could see that one going either way. With specifically those two, none of the other ones.
Yeah.
All right, next up, best multiplayer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Give me your pick.
For me, it's going to be Call of Duty. And I hate to write off Warhammer 40k, but the multiplayer is not that great. It just makes me want to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, I haven't played any of them really besides Black Ops. So, but I know, like, Helldivers 2, when that came out, it was, like,
big.
You couldn't talk about anything else in the gaming news world without talking about Helldivers. It was huge. And I still want to play it. I'm really bummed that that one I missed. So I think just based on that alone, Black Ops 6, we talked about earlier, the most fun I've had in multiplayer in a long time. But it's still, again, it's just more Call of Duty, you know? So I don't know if that's going to be...
Definitely a copy-paste job, but a good one.
Right. But it's so well done. But Helldivers, just because of the paradigm shift that it caused in the gaming community, that's going to be my pick. So, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. All right, next up. Best sports / racing game, F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. This one's really just letters and numbers. That's like all it is. There's like 2 words in here. I haven't played any of them. I don't care to.
Right.
For me, I'm just going with soccer, football, and I'm going to pick EA Sports FC.
Well, I would vote for F1 to be off this list completely because, God, we know our experience with the F1 games. But the only one of these that has a chance of hell in me ever playing it would be WWE, so I'll go with that.
All right. I like it. I could see that one. That's, the worldwide, that's the worldwide leader in sports entertainment, the WWE. Who votes against that? All right, next up, best sim / strategy game, Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. What do you got for this one?
I haven't played any. The one I want to play the most is Frostpunk 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think that one of the ones I've heard the most, positive things about. Between that and Manor Lords. Remember when Manor Lords came out and that one was like, everybody was talking about that?
Definitely want to see what that one is too. But Frostpunk 2 seems like I want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. I played that. And I had fun with it. I don't think it's better than any of these other ones, though. But for me, I got to go Unicorn Overlord. My buddy who's obsessed with these strategy games, loved this game. He said it was one of the best he's played. So I'm going to just go based on his choice here because I have no, I don't know. I don't know the answer. Okay, moving along. Best family game, Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire. So this is where it's going to start getting to be a little bit annoying because I'm going to say Astrobot a lot. And that is my pick for best family game. It's the one I play with my son, and he loves it. And so yeah, Astrobot, baby.
Gotcha. I mean, okay, this might be true for Astrobot to an extent, but I don't think you can have a better family game than one that gets the family on the couch together and involved, which is going to be Super Mario Party Jamboree for me.
Yeah. And make them want to murder each other because that game is cutthroat.
It's all part of the family.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next up, we've got Best Fighting Game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiverses, and Tekken 8. Give me your pick on this one. You play any?
The
of
only
these?
one that I've played, the one that I want to play more of, and I'm always like just interested to see what's coming next. Multiverses.
Yeah. For me, that's the one where I'm like, I think I'm more excited to see what's coming to the game than actually playing it once I get in there, you know? Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, I really want that one. But I heard, like, when Tekken 8 came out, that was the one where everybody was like, this is like the best fighting game, just in general. I don't know the story of it. I don't know anything. And it made me want to. I actually looked at the characters and I was like, am I buying a fighting game? I didn't. Yeah. But it was the one that got me closest. Multiverses, I enjoy the idea of it, but I don't know. I don't think it's better than what I've heard Tekken is. All right, next up, Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor Refantasio. This category is insane. It's stacked, dude. It's hard. Dude, Dragon's Dogma 2, that one didn't, I bought it, I played it early on. It didn't hold me. Elden Ring, we're not going to even have the conversation about DLC being into the mix until maybe we'll later when we get into it more. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, everybody's saying it's one of the greatest games ever. Like a Dragon, we've heard how great those stories are. But Metaphor Refantasio has done something to me. It's moved something on the inside of me, every part of it, and on the outside of me sometimes, depending on the scene.
That might be appendicitis or something.
It might be. I did have a big breakfast. But that's going to be my pick for Best RPG, Metaphor Refantasio.
Nice. Mine's going to be Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I haven't even played it, but I did play the base game. And as far as games that have really changed up for me, the whole thing, that's going to be one of them. I don't mind it being a DLC in this category.
Yeah. It's crazy that I would even vote against more Elden Ring, because Elden Ring it's such an amazing game. You know, how do you vote against just more of it? So it's going to be tough. All right, next up, Best Action / Adventure. Now this is the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. So the nominees for this are Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Give me your pick on this one.
I wish I were saying Star Wars Outlaws for this one, but I'm going to go with what you've told me and what I've heard from everybody ever and say Astrobot.
Yeah. So this one, again, like what puzzles, combat, traversal, like I haven't played Silent Hill 2. I know there's puzzles and combat and stuff in there. And this is like the only category that Zelda got voted for. So it's like kind of want to throw that a vote. But dude, the combat, the traversal, the puzzles in Astrobot were all amazing. And I am right there with you, Astro baby, for the win. All right, next up, now we got the best action game. This is the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. And this is Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Now, this is one where, I want every single one of these games very, very badly, and I don't have any of them. Well, I have Call of Duty, but I haven't played the campaign. I got to get in there and try that. I've heard great things. But based on what I've seen, what really moves me as far as the combat, Stellar Blade. The combat looks really, really cool, really, really tight, and a lot of fun. So that's going to be my pick here.
Yeah, I'm just going on my own experience, which is between Black Ops 6 and Helldivers 2. Why do I keep saying that? You know, I did that in the other show.
You did. I knew what you meant.
Space Marine 2. Yeah, Space Marine 2. But the problem is with the campaign, I already said the multiplayer is a little lackluster, but the campaign feels a little repetitive by the time you get to the end of it. It's kind of like you're playing on the decent setting. You're going to walk right through it, and it's going to feel a lot the same. There's not a lot writing on your choices and strategy and things like that until you get to those higher, almost impossible difficulties. Whereas Black Ops 6, I think, is all around pretty damn good.
All right. I like it. I like that pick, Call of Duty, for full clip. Next up, best VR/AR game: Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. I'm sure neither of us have played any of these games, so what's your gut telling you?
The one that I want to play is what I voted for here, Metal Hellsinger.
All right. I like that. For me, I'm going to go with Asgard's Wrath. This is the one where I've heard this is the game changer when it comes to VR games. It's like a full RPG, like 100-hour RPG that you play in VR. So it's it sounds great, but I've never had hands-on with it. All right, next up, best mobile game: AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. This one, it's an easy one for me. It's Balatro. It's gotta be Balatro. It's a amazing game. You could sink countless hours into it. Now, Pokemon, it's a fun game, but it's not it's cards. It's like you're opening packs of cards. There's not much there, But Balatro, such a great game.
Yeah, I hate to go against Balatro on this one, but I just don't consider it a mobile game first. Because mobile game is real recent. It was out on PC and, I don't know, console maybe, for a while before. I just feel like it's just a full release game that happens to run well on mobile, so they brought that out later. So
but it's nominated in this category. So, somebody felt that it should be here.
And I swear, it's the only game I've ever paid $10 for a mobile device. So that says something. But I just went with Pokemon Trading Card Game. Maybe it's recency bias. Maybe I'm still a little excited to see what's coming there. But I do agree with you that it's a little bare right here at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm hoping for big things. I think they got to start doing more events. Add some more of the features in there, flesh it out a little bit. But yeah. The answer is always Balatro. Maybe not always, but maybe right here. Best debut indie game. We got Animal Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire. This is a category full of amazing indie games. Who's going to take home the winner for best debut indie game?
I'm going to say Balatro. Animal Well looks good. They all look good. But Balatro, if you go on YouTube and look up Balatro, you'll find more videos for Balatro, like small, medium, and large length videos, than you will most other games that released this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Dude, Animal Well is such an amazing game. It's a really well done game. But Balatro I don't know. Like you said, it's a movement, man. There's so many people that normally don't get down with indie games, but maybe they were drawn in because it looked like poker or something like that. And then they're like, holy shit, this game is fantastic. So all these games are fantastic games, but to me, the answer is it's Balatro. It's such a good game. All right. Next up, best independent game: Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50. Whew, jeez. Do we just keep running Balatro, or should I change things up a little bit? I don't know. Because Animal Well, I don't know. If I voted for best debut indie, I got to give it to best independent game. I'm going Balatro there too.
Yeah, same. I feel like they're basically the same category, but
right. They just happen to be the first game the person has put out or whatever, you know. All right, next up is the best community support. This is recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. So this is a thinker. You got to put some thought into this and try to think back on the year. You know, it's not just, well, you know, what's the better game? Like, which one has... No Man's Sky constantly gets tons of... Like, every time a new update comes out, it's like, this is a game changer. Like, every single time. Helldivers 2, their social media early on and stuff like that, I remember hearing, like they're having missions out there every week and that sort of thing. Fortnite is Fortnite. Always have a big event going on. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy 14 and what they do over there. But Baldur's Gate 3, that one was really just the patches. And they would put in these huge patches that would add so much to the game and really flesh it out. So, dude, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I really appreciate what's happening with Baldur's Gate 3, them fixing the things that need to be fixed, leaving certain things alone that don't need to be fixed because it allows for a better player experience. And you can choose, you know, if something seems broken, you can choose whether you do that or not. It's your choice. It's not going to be forced on you by the developers. And I hear that they have really changed it up with like the mod support. So I don't know where that's going yet, but hopefully that'll be a pretty awesome game to mod in the future, like decade.
Yeah, that's, oh man, I'm going back and forth on this one. Those are all, like, that makes me want to pick Baldur's Gate 3 for all that stuff. But, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go No Man's Sky. Just because, like, every time I read about a new thing coming, I'm like, am I going to play this again? And then I don't ever really like the game when I get in there, but it makes me want to get in there. So that's a lot of give props for that. All right, next up, best ongoing. This is awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. For me, like, I just best ongoing, like, as far as, you know, I feel like Helldivers kind of fell off a little bit. They had it was amazing, but we really don't, I don't know what they're doing now. They're still updating as much. Diablo 4, oof, I don't know, dude. I'm going to go Fortnite just because I do hear about that being, you know, ongoing all the time. You know, there's always something going on in that world.
I'm going to throw a bone to Helldivers 2 here just because I care so little about anything on this list.
There you go. I like it. It's the pity award here. All right. Next up, Games for Impact. It's for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. We've got Closer the Distance. Never even heard of that game. Indica, Neva, however you say that. Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera Zao. What are you thinking? Which game impacted the world?
Yeah, didn't play any of them. Don't really know what the impact on most of these were, but I was kind of inceptioned back during the Game Awards a few years ago when we saw Tales of Kenzera Zao and we heard the whole story of how the developer of it did this like in memory of his father who passed away. So that would be my vote on this, just because I know that it was actually attempting to do, you know, sort of a games for impact sort of thing. Yeah,
that one, you know, was focused on grief and that sort of thing. I know Senua's Saga is all about schizophrenia and stuff like that. I haven't played the other ones to know, but for me, like, Indica is one of my personal games of the year. So if I have an opportunity, this is the only opportunity in the Game Awards to vote for it. That's going to be my pick. It definitely needs more exposure. Everybody should check it out. All right, next up, innovation in accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws. For me, I don't know. I'm lucky enough that I don't need any of these features. So I don't know what each of them offer, but this is the only category that Dragon Age is nominated in, so I'm going to pick Dragon Age.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't dug into the accessibility features of most of these games, but one that I did see was Black Ops 6. Have you ever been into the accessibility or customization? They let you do like everything this year.
That's
you
great.
want your map in a different corner of the screen, the colors on the words and everything that's going to help you if you need that. They've gone kind of above and beyond this year compared to recent years. So,
nice.
Black Ops 6.
Yeah, you love seeing it. All right, next up, Best Performance. We've got Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws, Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, and Melina Jurgens for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Yeah, go for it. What do you got?
Okay. Yeah, I should just probably abstain from voting on this one, but I'm going with Hannah Tell, which was Life is Strange, because I know that game is so dialogue-based. It's so, like, it really matters if the voice actor is on it, and I'm sure they are if this game is in this category.
Yeah, no, I like that pick. I'm going to go with Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars. I like the character and all the gameplay I've seen, so it seems like a fun character, well acted. So that's my pick. I still want to play that game. It's still on my list, and I'm hoping to see it, maybe cheap around the holidays.
They believe they just announced that they're going to drop the Forced Stealth, so it could have been on more of these categories had they done that a little sooner in the year.
For real, that's great news. That's the best news I've heard. I love that. I hate stealth. Okay, Best Audio Design. Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. This is for Best In-Game Audio and Sound Design. I know Senua's Saga is all about sounds. You're hearing the whispers and all this stuff. But for me, dude, Astrobot, when everything makes a sound in it, you hear it coming through the little speaker in your PlayStation 5, and when, nuts sound like nuts, and metal sounds like metal, and it's so realism-filled that it's going to be Astrobot.
Yeah, I didn't play it again, but I'll go with you on that because I know that it is like a fully immersive experience. It is almost like a tech test to show you what your PS5 can do. So the audio design has to be top-notch there.
Absolutely. All right, Best Score and Music. Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. Hit me with your pick.
I know it's already winning other awards for this category, so Final Fantasy VII, I'm just trusting the people and going with it.
Yeah, that one, dude, the sound in any of the Final Fantasy games, the score is just so beautiful. But for me, I'm changing it up, and I'm voting for Metaphor solely for the battle song in it. I'm sure you've heard it on social media. It's a banger. Everybody loves it. And I'm really hoping that it gets played at the Game Awards. It's the one where like, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. All right. Next up, we've got Best Art Direction. And this is Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor ReFantazio, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, and Neva. This is a tough one, dude. All these games have amazing art, and they're all so different, in different ways. Oh boy. Like, dude, Elden Ring is gorgeous. It's the best art. Astrobot, it looks great, but in this instance, when it's up against Black Myth Wukong, which I think the best thing going for it is the look, and then Metaphor, it's a little dated, but like for me, the UI and everything about that is fresh and like interesting. Oh man, I'm gonna give this one to Black Myth Wukong.
All right. Yeah, I mean, our graphic wise, we're at this point where it's almost normal for things to be like hyper realistic and shiny and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I'm actually a sucker for these games that do it a little different, like Neva. It reminds me a lot of like Inside and the other games of that
Yeah,
genre. I appreciate that, and it makes me want to play that game more than most of the ones on this list. So art
that's funny.
direction, I will go with them.
I like that you and I went in completely different directions where like I was like, this one's like overly like insane graphics, and you're like, I want the real or like the simplistic part of Neva. I like it. I'm interested to see where they go with this one. All right. Best narrative: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor Refantasio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2. Best narrative. What do you think?
I went with Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Don't ask me to defend it. I can't.
All right, all right. The story of Metaphor is it's so good. It's the first time in a while I've been really excited to see what happens, and I'm like playing the game more for the story than the gameplay, which is very rare for me. All right, and then we got the last two. Best game direction. This is awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. Oh man. Innovation in game direction and design. I gotta give it to Team Asobi and give it to Astrobot.
All right. I mean, this is another one where I just haven't played them to know, but I went with Black Myth Wukong because ever since we saw the first trailers for this game, I think we were all wanting to play it. Now, I have seen other games that look a lot like this coming out ever since.
Yes.
But this looks like the AAA experience you're looking for if you want to play a game like this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Game of the year. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor Refantasio. So here, we could talk about it now. We haven't talked about it yet, but the inclusion of DLC in the Game of the Year category has been a big topic of debate on the social medias. I'm like, I don't know. Initially, I was like, that's dumb. It's taken up the spot of
Black Ops
something
6.
else
Snub.
that could have come out because it's not a new game. This is a different game. It's just an add-on to the game. I mean, but then I've seen people defend it, saying like, well, say it's the same size as the game. Say they just put it out as Elden Ring 2 and then put it out. Would it be okay then? There's nothing in the Game Awards rules that says like it can't be a DLC. So, like, I've come around on it. It's fine. It just shows that this was kind of a weak year for games in that we've got a DLC being added as Game of the Year. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, there are probably plenty of other games that could have been put into that slot. I don't know that it's been that weak of a year. I think everybody's so damn picky, though. So you have, like, Star Wars Outlaws. Probably not the best game ever. I know that there are problems with it, but is it that bad? We're just like moaning about everything that comes out, no matter what it is.
Yeah, and I guess it's just not as good as the DLC to Elden Ring, and that's
maybe it's really good DLC,
right? And that's the thing. Like they're saying it's as good as Elden Ring. So if you don't have rules that say, hey, we can't have this in there. And then you're just going based on like the quality of these two things. Is, Tekken 8 or Silent Hill 2 as good or better than this? Like, what are the, I don't know. There needs to be, I think, better criteria or, rules state, or maybe even a category, best DLC category, right?
So that's what we talked about before. Like, new categories to split some of this stuff up so that your DLCs aren't ending up in your Game of the Year. Mm-hmm. and vice versa. So, that would be nice if we had just a few more categories to distinguish between these things. And I don't know. Why do we have best esports athlete, best esports game, best esports team?
Yeah.
All of that. It's like,
we don't give a shit
game,
about that, but I think there's a large community that
go have the esports awards though.
Do they have the esports awards? They should.
I'm sure they do.
Okay, we should do that. It's like their Super Bowl or their Emmys. Anyways.
I know we're a couple old geezers, but content creator of the year. Did you know anybody in that category?
Nope.
Yeah, same.
I follow a lot of content creators too, and I didn't know a single one of those. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what.
And I'm not interested in getting to know them. I don't think.
Sure.
Either.
No. So especially not based on those pictures.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal to me that they have this in this category because I've not played it. I've not experienced it. I don't know if it is worthy of an entire game slot as a DLC.
Yeah, I agree. So what is your pick then for Game of the Year here?
I think, based on not really playing these games, Astrobot is probably going to take it.
Well, hold
on. Balattro's in there.
Uh-huh.
So I have played Balatro. I played the hell out of Balatro, but I don't think it's going to get the vote.
It's tough, man. Could you imagine, though, if Balatro does win Game of the Year? I don't think it's going to happen either. But, dude, I would love to see it. My pick is Astrobot, of course. It is my personal Game of the Year. I thought it was the best game. It's the best platformer that I've probably ever played. I don't know. There's discussion that could be had there. But yeah, dude, I loved Astrobot, and I thought it was a fantastic game. But if Balatro, somehow gets the dub, I would be jumping up and down dancing because that was made by one game. It was a labor of love, and it's just, there's so much content there. People have played it for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and he's adding more stuff for free, always just giving out stuff. So yeah, dude, I would be fine with it. But I think you and I are correct in our pick that Astrobot will be the Game of the Year. Game right there, dude. Gaming News Weekly. We said it. Game of the Year. It's our pick.
If there's any reason that I think it shouldn't or couldn't, it's because it is strictly on the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
And what percent of the gaming population has access to this game? Whereas Balatro, it's everywhere.
Right. Yep. You're right, dude. So that's it. Those are our picks. We'll see in a couple weeks how we did, what we got right, what we got wrong, who's shaving their head live on camera. That's gonna be our first TikTok live, dude. But yeah, I'm super excited. I love the Game Awards. It's always a good time. Maybe next week we'll talk about any predictions that we have for premieres and that sort of thing. Maybe announcements that might come. But we got a few more other things to talk about. So you got anything else to add about that?
Nah, that's all.
All right, let's move things along real quick. We did have some awards winners. The Golden Joystick Award, that competition just happened. So we got the winners for that. I'm going to go through them real quick. You know what? I don't even need to read all of them. Just some big ones. The biggest winners were Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2. They took home, let's see, Final Fantasy VII had 4 of the 7 awards it was nominated for. Best Storytelling, Soundtrack, Performer, and Supporting Performer. And then Helldivers got 3 of its 5 nominations, Best Multiplayer, Best Game Trailer, and Console Game of the Year. And then Astrobot got Best Audio Design and Studio of the Year for Team Asobi. And the big prize of the night, Black Myth Wukong, took home the ultimate Game of the Year, which was a big surprise to everybody because a lot of people shat on it for the Game Awards nominations. But yeah, that one took home the ultimate Game of the Year award, which is weird because console Game of the Year was Helldivers 2, PC Game of the Year was Satisfactory, and Black Myth Wukong was on both of those things. So I don't know what this is, if it's how they get to their winners, but
right.
Those are the winners. Anything weird jump out at you here?
Satisfactory as PC Game of the Year is kind of strange to me because it's been out for years in early access. I know their 1.0 was like a month or two ago.
Sure.
It seems strange. Still playing award for console and PC is Minecraft. And I know they had a little bit of a revival like 5 years ago, and I jumped right in like everybody else. But these days, I don't hear much about Minecraft, so that is surprising.
There's not a lot of like updates and stuff. Yeah, or even like Fortnite when they added the Lego world and they added the racing and the thing. We don't hear about that. That was a big surprise. But and then they also have best game expansion, and guess what won it? Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree. So maybe that should be. They should take some of the Golden Joystick nominations.
Yeah. Now our most wanted game, GTA 6, best game adaptation, Fallout. I feel validated. I feel seen.
Right. There you go. And best indie game, Balatro. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how they compare and what differs from the two. I don't know which. So I know Game Awards is partially voted on. So I think the votes that you cast now are 10% maybe of the score. And then it's voted from a panel of people that were chosen, people in the industry that could vote. I don't know if the Golden Joystick Awards or if those are entirely based on public or from panel. I'm not sure. I'll look into those. If anybody knows out there, let us know. Send us call the show. All right. And then last up, I know we're going long here, but we got to talk about this. Early reports that Sony is interested in buying From Software parent company Kadokawa. This would be a game changer when we're talking about, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. Sony getting a hold of From Software, one of the greats to do it, would be amazing. So they already own. So Sony owns 14% of From Software. Kadokawa owns 70% of that, and then Tencent owns 16%. So that's they already got a partial grasp on the whole thing. And they're looking to expand upon that. But
don't they own some of the substantial IP, like maybe the IP for Dark Souls and?
I think so. That would make sense. I'm not certain. I'm not going to say anything either way, but that does sound right. But yeah, so Kadokawa, they are a publisher of anime. So that would fit right in there with, Sony owns Crunchyroll and Funimation. So that makes sense. And then Kadokawa also owns Danganronpa developer Spike Chunsoft, and then Octopath Traveler developer Acquire, and then RPG Maker and Pixel Game Maker developer Gotcha Games. So it's not just From Software. It would be, some other great quality developers. So yeah, it would be really cool. Kadokawa, they did confirm that they received an intent to buy. They released this update that says there are some articles on the acquisition of Kadokawa Corporation by Sony Group. However, this information is not announced by the company. The company has received an initial letter of intent to acquire the company's shares, but no decision has been made at this time. If there are any facts that should be announced in the future, we will make an announcement in a timely and appropriate manner. So, yeah, dude. It would be awesome.
Well, I know you're a PlayStation fanboy, so your opinion is skewed there. I just want to know skewed. Objectively here, is it a good thing if they buy these and these titles go or stay only on the PlayStation?
A good thing for gaming in general, you're saying?
I guess so. For the titles. If you love the titles and they're only going to release them on one and it only gets that big of an audience, it's strictly on the PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it was. It's been that way up until recently. So, yeah, it would be weird to see it go the other way. Yeah, I don't know. You look at the list that we just talked about, the Game Awards nominees, and there has never been an Xbox exclusive nominated for Game of the Year. Never. And I think 70% like the games nominated were like Sony exclusives or console exclusives. So it's pretty crazy thinking that they could possibly have the creator of, you know, these amazing games. I don't know if it's a bad thing for, I mean, I guess ultimately, yeah, it would be a bad thing. If you're a fan of Elden Ring or whatever, and you only have a PC and then Sony's buying it, then yeah, it might mess shit up. But we're seeing more and more Sony putting their games on PC. I know people are annoyed with it. You got to have a PSN and that sort of thing. But I don't know. As a Sony fanboy, and I want them to invest more in this studio, it would be great. But at the same time, as a From Software fanboy, they're doing things amazingly. I don't want anything to fuck that up. You know, like the way they're running their company. We talked about it recently. They were like the only gaming company to A, not do layoffs, and B, give raises to their employees. Like, no one else is doing it. So that's kind of scary getting them in there. When we see all these, you know, big companies being gobbled up by these even bigger companies and then spitting out like the remains a few years later. So I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it and we're talking about it, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm a little nervous now.
My bad.
But yeah, it's really interesting. We'll see. It's going to be expensive. You gotta believe that it's going to be a pricey acquisition.
Well, if they already own the IP, they don't have to pay for that again.
That's true. That's true. And they, you know, have a decent share of the company. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear more about this. If, you know, see what kind of you know, intent they have and how much they want to pay for that. But yeah, it should be cool. And I'm hoping that we'll hear more soon, because this is the time of year where there's never much happening in the video game world the end of the year here. So it'll be nice to chat about this more. But yeah, I'm going to have to think about it, dude. You've posed some great counterpoints, and now I'm going to have to think about it. All right. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
That is it, dude. I'm tired. Man, it was a lot of talking. I feel like I've...
longest show in a long time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it was fun. I really look forward to this discussion and having this conversation. You know, everybody out there, they don't understand. They're like, who gives a shit what games win awards or whatever? Just play what you like. It's just fun to talk about. I like, you know, having that conversation and getting on there. But all right. Well, thank you so much for checking out this action-packed, fun-filled episode. Let us know your thoughts on the nominees, who you think should win, who we messed up voting for. But yeah, hit us up on TikTok and then over on Blue Sky. We moved to Blue Sky. Everybody's moving to Blue Sky. It's the cool place to be now. Go check us out there, Gaming News Weekly, on both of those. And then if you want to watch this show, we're on YouTube at Pop Culture Playground. This bunch of other stuff over there, quality entertainment. So make sure you hit the subscribe there. And then anywhere podcasts are found, just type in GNW. You'll find our show. Hit subscribe there. And then every Monday morning, you'll have this show ready for your audio listening pleasure. On the go, you could listen to this. Yell at your radio. Say, you voted for Astrobot, you piece of shit. That's I'm assuming what everybody's going to be doing. Elden Ring is the champ.
I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah, off a bridge. Please, don't want to drive off a bridge over a video game. Just drive to my house and we'll play games together. My address is... Oh, we're not going to put that out there just yet. I think that's all I got. I got a nice sunbeam kind of hitting me on my beard here. It's looks real nice. My face is in shadow. Beard in the sun. Anything else from you?
Nope. Let's get out of here. It's been a long one.
Let's get out of here. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.